What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Bridging the Geekdoms podcast. We're going to face off when it comes to Marvel, DC, video games, and other fun pop culture things. With me, though, I'm not alone. No, I'm not alone. With me is Colton and Jared. What's going on, gentlemen? How are you?
We're here.
I guess you can ask for much more than that, right?
Yeah,
We're here.
that's the energy.
So, we moved the day to Friday this week because I had something going on, and our main topic I did not want to miss out because I think my X-Men film pitch is better than both of yours.
I'll suck a dick.
Your sound, Colton. Could you hear Slav well?
Yeah, I can hear him. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't hear me, Jerry?
I'm not hearing you well. Maybe I need headphones. Hold on.
Poor Jerry. I was trying to tell him about Flavor Flav earlier, and he's like, "Who? Flavor? Who?"
Wow, 3 white Caucasian men don't know about a
Now
black
I can hear you
rapper.
much better.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm not big on rap anymore. It went downhill.
I was never big on rap. Yeah. But we do have a lot to talk about. So, let's jump into it, guys. So, first up, what do we got, Colton?
Hold on. There we go. We got Tim Curry fucking died.
That's sad.
Well, that and like a slew of bunch of other people died this week too.
Yeah. I mean, so let's first talk about Tim Curry because the other two are also within the pulp culture or entertainment world, at least that we can talk about. But Tim Curry, I wanted to bring him up because he was a big part of my childhood growing up, from his role of Long John Silver on it's Treasure Island to Home Alone 2. I mean, those two movies alone I watched constantly as a child. But then some really cool stuff that kind of is more pulp culture related is he was almost the voice of the Joker in the Batman the Animated Series show. Unfortunately, it didn't work what he was doing, so they went and got Mark Hamill, but it was very close. He was almost the voice of Joker in that show. Now, for me, while he's done so many great things through his career, towards the end of his career, I wouldn't even say it was towards the end of his career because it was like probably 10, 15 years ago, but there was I think it was a 2-episode arc on Criminal Minds that he played the villain on. And it was one of the most horrific villains that I ever saw on that show. He was fantastic as playing a villain. He was a great character actor, down all around. So I don't know. Do you guys have any fond memories of Tim Curry growing up or even as an adult?
Well, I mean, I'm a huge horror fan, so Pennywise, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, the 90s Pennywise, not the new Pennywise, but
yeah.
And Frankenfurter or whatever from Rocky Horror Picture Show. The words are hard.
Words are difficult. Yeah. What about you, Jerry? You have a fond memory of?
I would say Hunt for Red October. Big Bomb fan. Obviously, grew up a huge Sean Connery fan, so that's probably my favorite appearance of his.
Nice. Yeah. But that wasn't the only death that occurred this week. Unfortunately, the week kind of started off with Dolly Parton dying at the age of 80. And, well, she, again, not pop culture. She wasn't in comic book movies or anything like that, but she was a huge part of entertainment. There's no chance in hell that you've never heard a Dolly Parton song in your life, 9 to 5 or, whatever. Like, there's so many different songs. So, rest in peace to Dolly Parton and Tim Curry. And then also it was the voice of Optimus Prime. His name just escaped me. Come on, Jerry. I know you know it.
Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
Peter Cullen.
Peter Cullen. Thank you.
There you go.
He passed away also this week. So it's been a rough week, a really, really rough week when it comes to entertainment and just people that were a part of people's lives in some major way. Obviously, being the voice of Optimus Prime and many other animated characters over the course of his long life. Everybody's been affected by him in some way with his art that he made. So rest in peace to all of them. And I hate starting off a show on a dour note, but something has to happen. Do you guys have any fond memories of Dolly Parton or Cullen?
We just watched. No, she made a song about it, but that movie, the TV movie, My Many-Colored Coat or whatever, I can't remember. Multicolored Coat.
You know,
It's basically the telling of her childhood. It was pretty entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, outside of that, just really her music.
I was going to say, I didn't find out who she was until middle school when me and my degenerate friends used to play poker all the time. And I found out who she was because if you had a 9 and a 5, that hand was called the Dolly Parton. I didn't know that. And I didn't know who she was. And then I, found out and obviously realized she's a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bad week to be over 80.
Yeah, indeed. Indeed. All right. Let's move on to our next set of topics. We're going to start off the day with Marvel. How about that? Okay. Wait, change things?
No, this is Marvel. This was the next thing. You got your Miles Morales.
Yeah, Miles Morales here with Cody Rhodes going to Marvel Studios. Now, I thought this was really funny. The fact that Cody Rhodes was at Marvel Studios. Look, he's been toying with Hollywood more and more over the last couple years. He had a short little stint in the Naked Gun remake there, or not remake, but reboot or reimagining, whatever it was. And of course, he's in Street Fighter this coming October? Does that come out? Is it October?
It's something like that.
So yeah, I mean he's dabbling in Hollywood, so it's no surprise. I'm sure they could find something small for him at Marvel Studios. Well, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah,
maybe
Miles Morales. Duh.
Maybe he's Magneto.
I mean, no, he's Nova, man. Come on.
Nova.
I mean, I thought the little quote I put here, in honor of his dad, Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's playing Katima, which is the new white Black Panther they have in the comics. Marvel actually did that, by the way. So
yeah. Well, everybody wanted Ryan Gosling to play him, but now he's playing Ghost Rider. So I guess it's the next best thing. I don't know.
Well, on to the next thing of we got the new poster for Endgame, and I don't like it.
Yeah, the poster's not great. I want to talk more about this than just the poster, because yes, we're getting like 5 minutes of extra footage in the movie. Some, I guess, is going to be in the middle of the movie. Some is going to be at the end of the movie, post-credit scene or something like that. They've also enhanced the color grading on the film. There's been a lot of things going around social media about that. And apparently they've changed some of the script, some of the things that people are saying in the movie. There's like that line where Tony says something about if you mess with time, it messes back or something like that. So they kind of changed and adjusted what he actually says there. People are thinking that it's going to, the reason for that is it has direct ties to what is going to happen in Doomsday. So I don't know. Like, I haven't gotten my tickets for this because they're only showing it in the Infinity Vision theaters, and my closest one is an hour and 30 minutes away, and that's just ridiculous.
I would recheck that because they initially when I checked for the times and I went to look later to see if I could get a different time, there were a lot more later in the day. So I would recheck it if you care. The interesting thing, I agree. I think the poster sucks. Like, I think the poster is trying to hint at what the additional footage is, but it just looks stupid. And the other thing is, like, they have the nerve, the Russo brothers have the nerve to say that this is required viewing if you're going to understand what's going on in Avengers Doomsday. Like, what the heck? Then release it on Disney Plus at home. I really don't want to go to the fucking movie theaters, okay? I'm not like everyone else where, oh, I love sitting in the movie theaters with a bunch of people that I don't know to hear them being annoying next to me. I hate being next to people in the movie. I want to watch this shit at fucking home. That's why I have a sick ass home theater and I don't have to be next to the fucking bums that smell like shit at the movies. I don't want to do that. And I don't want to drive to the movie theater and drive home from the movie theater, okay? So that pisses me off. And supposedly this is going to count towards Avengers Endgame's total theatrical box office. That's bullshit, okay? And I would love nothing more for Avengers Endgame to overtake Avatar or whichever Avatar it is number one. I fucking hate Avatar with a passion. But that's bullshit. Because if you have to re-release a movie with additional footage, so it's not the same movie, it shouldn't count towards the box office for the same thing. So this whole thing is a fucking gimmick. And they're treating Infinity Vision like it's this big deal, which I think we've talked on the show how, you could go to your standard screening of a movie, and that's considered Infinity Vision, when Infinity Vision was supposed to be, the highest exemplified specifications of a movie theater. So the whole thing is just a fucking gimmick. And I really don't like when people talk about a cash grab, because all of this is a cash grab. It's a business. But this whole thing is like, to me, it's like a desperate attempt to break even on paying Robert Downey Jr. before Avengers Doomsday even gets to theaters. Because that's what this is going to do. It's going to do 80 to 120 million. I understand that's a pretty wide range. I'm not a fucking box office expert. Okay, we know that RDJ is being paid 80 to 100 mil for Doomsday and what's the Secret Wars. But listen, and I try to keep it 100 with you. I'm probably the biggest Marvel fan on this fucking stream, but I will always keep it 100 when I think this is fucking bullshit. And this is bullshit.
I just looked, and yeah, there's the only showing of this movie for me. There's one showing on the 25th. One single showing at 4:15, an hour and 20 minutes away from me. And it's almost full. I think let me pull it up again. There's probably about a dozen, maybe 15 seats available. So that's it. Like that's that day. The first day it comes out. But no, the theater that's closest to me, that's only about 30 minutes away, has nothing.
Yeah, I wouldn't waste my time seeing it in theaters anyway. I'll wait till it comes out on Twitter.
It will be out on Twitter the day after, if not this day. Really.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. Because why spend all the money and 3.5 hours of my time for 5 extra minutes?
Yeah,
like I don't have that kind of time to throw around.
That's how I feel. And my ticket right now is for like a 1 or 3 p.m. on that Thursday. Guarantee you what's going to happen is I'm going to be closing a deal at work that day because it's going to end up on that fucking day. And I'm going to have to cancel going to the movie. And I'm going to see it on Twitter. And I'm just going to be, this is so fucking annoying, dude.
Yeah, no, I don't understand outside of recouping losses that they haven't even lost yet.
Yeah. Hey, they're showing Princess Mononoke at the theater nearest me on the 26th. So I can go see that. You want
to go see it? We can go see it together.
Yeah, it's Studio Ghibli Fest 2026. Yeah. I used to love that movie. I watched that so much when I was, not growing up. I guess I was a teenager at the time, but still.
Fucking nerd.
All right, what do we got next?
So Jerry sent in this picture, and I'm hoping I don't leak my email. But Namor and Storm are having relations.
Yeah. So why are you so excited about this picture?
I wouldn't say I'm excited about it, but Sue basically has an affair with Namor in the comics. Not really affair, but she flirts with him, and it's not really mainline. But regardless, it's kind of become pretty big on the internet for a really long time. So I just thought it would be crazy if they go for that. It's like they're pretty fucking handsy there. So I thought it was interesting.
They're making a baby. Ooh.
She already had a baby. Do you see Fantastic Four? Doesn't need another one.
Ooh, she's getting ran through. Ooh.
All right. Next.
Hold on. Hunter said something here. Hunter, I didn't miss your other comment. We're just not there yet.
Have a guy with glasses.
We all have glasses,
Yeah.
Hunter. Oh, we're having. Okay, I guess we can take me to Paris. I'll see the Eiffel Tower. But anything else for Marvel? Pretty sure that's our last Marvel thingy.
Is that the last Marvel thingy? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. What about X-Men?
What? Oh, we'll
about
the main topic.
Okay.
So next thing is The Brave and the Bold.
Okay.
Is not delayed or on hold. I guess on hold's probably the better one.
This was making its rounds a few days ago, that Andy Muschietti apparently told somebody at some point, who knows, that all work on The Brave and the Bold was on hold until after the merger of Paramount and Warner Brothers. Now, before we get into what James Gunn says here, I do want to say that's just stupid and asinine. I know that there's so much that people want to try and push this idea that, oh, DC Studios can't do anything, or Warner Brothers can't do anything until this deal is complete. The thing is that's complete bullpucky, because they have to continue operating as a business. They can't just stop and not everything just go on hold, because what if the deal falls through? Then Warner Brothers is fucked and they don't have anything coming out because, oh, we had to be put on hold. Or if the deal goes through and Paramount takes over and David Ellison comes in, he's like, where the hell are all the movies? Why is nothing coming out for 3 years? Like, the whole idea that things are on hold is the most asinine, dumb ass thinking that these retards keep saying. I said it, I know. But
hard R.
Gotta normalize it.
But it's out of hand. It truly is out of hand how these people just want to push this crazy narrative that James Gunn can't do anything because of this. James Gunn can't do anything because of that. And it's just really stupid. And James Gunn, who knows Andy Muschietti, who's talked to Andy Muschietti, states or says, he responds to this, it doesn't sound like something Andy would have said, but the project is in no way on hold. So, yeah, I mean, when you get down to it, you sit there and think, like, okay, they're probably moving forward. They probably don't have a finalized script, or they're getting close to having a finalized script, and they're just kind of biding their time. They're finishing up Man of Tomorrow. Maybe James Gunn goes and directs this movie instead of Andy Muschietti, who's going to be working on the next 2 seasons of It, Welcome to Derry. So there's so much that up in the air about this that people need to calm the fuck down. But what do you guys think? Jerry, what are your thoughts on this?
You know, I think, first of all, I like Andy Muschietti. I thought he did an amazing job with The Flash. I think the entire internet is wrong about that. I don't need to rehash that unless someone's going to decide to push back on it in the chat. But for the level of online James Gunn is and Andy Muschietti is, they need to be communicating better before putting shit like this out. I mean, this is just unprofessional. Like, this should be an email to each other. The fact that this is online and everyone saw this is so bad and such a bad look. And neither of them could afford this kind of look right now. Neither Andy or James.
I don't think Andy Muschietti ever said this. I don't think he told anybody this, because there's no footage of him saying it. This is just hey, Andy Muschietti says this. Anybody can make that up.
That's a good point too.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. People just love to push this idea, this agenda of theirs that DC is going to fall apart because of this Paramount deal. So it's like cosmic book news. They just throw shit at the wall, hoping that people pick it up and run with it. And it's annoying as all hell. I can't.
Yeah, and who the fuck is Danimalish?
I don't know. I thought about deep diving on that one. I was like, no, I'll get too involved in that and forget the show.
We're going to get to Hunter's comments here momentarily. So
yeah. I honestly don't think anybody ever said this, and they're all reaching for straws. Like, again, like Jerry said, this should have been if this was a real conversation, it should have been an email. And I don't think they're dumb enough, and they're not new to the business. This would have been an email if this was a discussion.
Yeah.
So, I mean, anybody can Photoshop anything.
Oh, indeed.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Move to the.
Sure. I was just going to say, I'm sure Donovan will be stalking Danimalish and be blocked and posting about him every day for eternity.
He doesn't join us anymore. It's so sad.
Oh, I know. Oh, I think it's my fault.
All right. Next up, Man of Tomorrow.
Woo.
So, Man of Tomorrow has wrapped filming. Now, this is a funny little story here because. So where I work, I have no access to internet during while I'm working. Like, I can step out and pick up my phone and take a look at things. And, if I run to the bathroom, I can look at things on my phone, but I have no access to social media at all while I'm working, which I can work in. Sometimes I work 7 hours. Sometimes I work 10 or 11 hours in a day. It just depends. So the other day, this popped up. This DC Studios Man of Tomorrow has wrapped filming. Now, I have my phone and I'm walking to the bathroom as I'm seeing this, and I go, oh, geez, that was a quick production. And, for a movie this size, and I just send it because for some reason in my little brain, I was thinking that production started in June, but it was actually April it started. Now, people got pissed off at me for putting that, which was freaking ridiculous. I just think it was stupid as hell. But this is, it's right on par. It's just over 90 days of filming and of production. So you figure they're going to probably go in for, 3, 4 to 5 months of post-production, get back together for any additional photography that they need to do that was pre-planned, and then, be on our way to getting the movie in July. But what are you guys excited about this? I know Donovan says, I can't wait for Man of Tomorrow. He says, I think we'll get the first trailer by December. And he says, Slav, you should have double checked when production began. It kind of lies on you.
He's back and he chose violence.
Yeah. 2 seconds later.
No one is allowed to ever make a mistake, right? Nobody. Just like you freaked out whenever I made a joke on Twitter the other day that Adria Arjona is going to be playing random news reporter number 3, and you're like, "Oh, come on, it's
Well, Donovan, I'll be the only one that welcomes you back, Donovan. I missed you.
Slav got it that Adria Arjona is going to be news reporter number 3 from Jeff Snyder.
Yeah, Jeff Snyder gave it to me. He and I we're actually really good friends. We talk all the time.
No. Now is she actually going to be on set, or are they just going to AI her in?
Actually, I think it's just her face. It's going to be floating around.
Yeah.
She's working out and everything, getting real swole, but it's just her face.
Oh, fuck.
Slav, we can't handle the truth. Donovan is the truth.
Oh man, I missed this, Donovan. I'm so happy you're back.
I'm going to push back on you on this one, Donovan. You know why I think Adria is playing Maxima? Because James Gunn loves B-list characters. James Gunn loves casting B-list characters and putting them in his movies, and that's why I think he's going to waste Adria Arjona on Maxima when he should have done it on Wonder Woman. By the way, I really don't. I was gonna say I really don't give a shit if she's Maxima or Wonder Woman. I just wanted to push back on you, Donovan. But I do think she is Maxima. I'm just saying I really don't care. I'm not actually criticizing James Gunn for what he's doing with Adria Arjona. I just wanted to give you a hard time.
I think
you're so fucking irritable and it's so fucking fun.
I 100% believe she's Wonder Woman, because why not just announce who Maxima is? I think they're having more fun with it being up in the arms. Is she Maxima? Is she Wonder Woman? Look, I hate that shit. Just tell us who the cast is. Like it's not going to ruin the movie. But
right.
It is what it is. I think she's Wonder Woman. Otherwise, they would have just announced it, because she is a big up and coming name. I can't imagine they're going to waste her on Maxima. But who knows? Honestly. What do we got next here?
But it's just another article you had tagged in here.
Oh yeah. Because it had funny picture. All right.
So next up on the docket is something that I think it was Hunter alluded to earlier in the show, and I said we'd touch on, is James Gunn and Peter Safran are staying with Warner Brothers.
Yeah, so there's actually a lot to this story here that I want to touch on, because Jeff Snyder apparently the other day on his hot mic with John Roca, basically stated in a passing moment that James Gunn's staying, he signed a new deal, and then they just moved on to another topic. Like, it was just in a quick passing moment. And we also have this report from The Wrap where the insiders that they talked to at Paramount told them that the plan is to keep Abdi DeLuca, as well as James Gunn and Peter Safran, as well as some others. Now, here's the interesting thing. First, let's talk about this little article from The Wrap. Do I believe that they talked to somebody within Paramount and they stated this? Yes. Do I feel like, James Gunn and Peter Safran are safe then? No. Nobody's safe. Not DeLuca, not Abdi, not anybody's safe. Because here's the thing. When a company goes to take over another company, they want stability. They don't want to jump in there and just have a complete hodgepodge of a mess. So Paramount, yes, the same thing happened when Discovery took over Warner Brothers. Walter Hamada was running DC. They came in and he stayed on until they found somebody else. Is that going to happen with James Gunn and Peter Safran? I don't think so. But to me, when I read this, that's what I think. I just think, okay, yeah, they're going to keep people on, because why say we're shaking the boat, we're firing everybody, this and that now? Like, it's just stupid, because then there's no stability. Then on to what Jeff Snyder said. He's saying that James Gunn signed a new extension. Well, he just signed an extension not a few months back, but like 7-8 months ago, something like that, that carries on until 2027. Now, here's the thing. Did he sign another extension for after that, or is he just talking about that extension? We don't really know what Jeff Snyder, I haven't seen Jeff Snyder clarify what he was saying there, but let's just say that he did sign an extension. Again, it goes back to the stability thing. If he did sign a new extension, it's probably just to say, look, I don't want to think about this right now. I don't want to think about the DC studios when we take over. So David Ellison could have just told Zaslav, like, hey, go ahead and let's extend them maybe another year, another 6 months. That way, it just gives us some time when we get in there to really take a look at things. So that's the way I look at it. Colton, how do you see it?
I mean, just from a business standpoint, why you're already shaking up the corporate tree? Why change anything more than you have to? Just keep status quo till everything's in line and you can make those finite decisions on shit like that.
Exactly.
Oh.
That's all you got?
Yeah, I'm over here choking on post-nasal drip. I'm sorry.
So, here's the thing. I kind of do believe that they extended James Gunn's contract because first of all, we don't know if this merger is still happening, number one. Number two, even if it is, David Ellison flew to the UK when they were shooting Man of Tomorrow to meet with James Gunn. He wouldn't have hopped on a plane and went overseas to meet with James Gunn if he didn't want to keep James Gunn, okay? He would have waited for him to come back to the U.S., would have met with him, and I'm sure he would have been nice about it, kind of like the way James Gunn was with Henry Cavill. But yeah, I do think they want to keep them. And, here's the thing, and I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. And Donovan, I hope you don't feel pain from this. But let's say, hypothetically, that the DCU does fail. They're not rebooting another DCU, at least not for a long time. They're going to say the DC fandom is doomed. DC is doomed for a shared universe. Let's just make Batman movies and the one-off, standalone for other characters here and there. But we're going to do what's tried and true because we've taken too many risks. We've spent too much money rebooting this thing right after we just did the DCEU, and it just doesn't work. So, with everything going on with Lanterns, it has me thinking, it's really starting to piss me off how Lanterns is not comic accurate. But at the same time, it's like, I really don't want to root for this thing to fail. I really don't, because DC is so fucked. If this thing fails, it's not even funny.
I agree. I don't think if the DCU fails at this point, we're not seeing anything. We're going to get like Batman trilogies and Superman trilogies, and that's it.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Well, speaking of Lanterns, never mind. Sorry, there's another thing on James Gunn here.
Fail. What do we got?
It's James Gunn and Peter Safran rumored to survive Warner Brothers merger.
Just more of what we just talked about.
Yeah.
I sometimes throw multiple of the same thing in there because I'm not paying attention whenever I'm throwing stuff.
Yeah, and I've noticed, Bob. I've noticed. Well, since you brought it up, how did everybody feel about this week's Lanterns episode? Or past week, I guess.
I thought it was excellent. I think that the episode was fantastic. I loved the lore drop. I loved the idea that they are really exploring the differences between Hal and John in that episode specifically, because they separate the two of them. You see kind of the type of man that John is compared to the type of man that Hal is, so you can see the differences in how they approach different situations. And again, the lore dumping that they put in this episode was fantastic, and starting to see the pieces fall in place of why is Jon Stewart in quote unquote training to be a Lantern here? What is going on with this whole thing? And then from Hal's standpoint, you're starting to see like he's realizing that one, maybe he is getting too old for this shit. And two, he's not really taking things as seriously as he should about the Jon Stewart being his quote unquote replacement. So yeah, I loved the episode fully. I think it was fantastic. Jerry, I know that you have some issues. I don't know if it's with that episode or what's coming, but I'd love to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I actually really liked the episode. I thought the episode was great. However, like during the whole episode, I was thinking, this doesn't feel very much like the Green Lantern comics that I know and love. And then right when I was like thinking that, and I think I posted about this too, was when, Hal was on Oa and spoke to Sinestro in the science cell. So I really like that scene. I don't really understand where the hate is towards this version of Sinestro. He literally looks exactly like Sinestro. I think that's kind of weak. My issue is more that, listen, if they're going to make it more Green Lantern and we're progressing towards that, I'm okay with that. I don't need it to feel like a Green Lantern comic throughout the entire episode. I love this episode, and it only gave me what I was, upset about at the very end. I'm fine with that. What I don't like is the way the ring doesn't work. The way the ring works in this version of Lanterns is nothing like the comics. And the way the ring chooses a Lantern is nothing like the comics. And, I think the pushback on Hal Jordan's personality is bullshit. Sure, he's a little more of an asshole than he is in the comics. I'm fine with that. I like assholes. I'm a fucking asshole. Okay. But, you know, like, yeah, they put the clip that they put on. Are you trying to fuck with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, but the clip that they put on today that I decided to talk about, you know, that was their choice to put that online. They knew that shit was going to get torn apart.
What clip did they put online? I didn't see it.
The clip they put online was it was Jon Stewart as a child and his parents saying to him, you know, the Guardians came to us and chose you as the Green Lantern, and you're going to be a Green Lantern when you grow up. That the coolest thing about Green Lanterns are the lore, are the way the Guardians and Oa and the Ring and everything like that works. And, you know, listen, before the show came out, a lot of people complained about the no green aura around Hal when he's flying, the suit not coming from the ring. And I was like, you know, that shit is probably going to be explained. I'm sure they're not going to butcher that. But like, when you look at Hal Jordan flying, it looks no different than a SpaceX rocket, you know? So I have an issue with that. I like, this is supposed to be a faithful version of DC in Lantern. And, all right, listen, I'm going to get you fucking back for that, okay? But like, you know, I mean, and listen, like I said, I'm really trying to reserve most of my judgment until the end of the series, because what I really don't want to happen is they end up sticking the landing. I end up really loving this show, and I've, you know, pushed hate against the DCU when it ends up delivering, and I'm happy with it, because I think the DCU gets a lot of unfair hate. But at the same time, like, there's, I mean, come on. Like,
I gotta push back on you. All right, and yes, Hunter, I saw your comments. We're still talking DC, so we're gonna get onto some of your comments here. I want to bring this up first off, because you said it's not comic accurate. No, it's not 100% comic accurate, but let's not ignore the fact that in the comics, the Guardians have actually monitored and watched young individuals from the time they were children up to their adults, to have them become a Green Lantern, just watching and seeing how they progress. And that's number one. Now, is this a little bit more than that? Yeah, absolutely. But again, being a comic book fan, which I know you are, Jerry, I know you're a big comic book reader and fan, you should be used to things changing slightly. I don't think this ruins what they're doing, because we still have Guy Gardner, we have Hal Jordan, so the lore of how the ring picks and things like that, I'm sure is going to come into play with them. But with Jon Stewart, it's just a little bit of a shift. It's like the Guardians have been watching him for greatness. What I think is really cool about it is that it's giving a purpose to why he's going to be such a big deal. And I think you need to have that, because the Ring just choosing for a new audience, like, okay, the Ring just chose a person. That's ridiculous. That's weird. Like, I like this because it's a little more like, oh, there's something about him. There's something about him. So I think from the audience standpoint, that's important and great. Now, with the whole idea that because some people are like, oh, he's basically being like he's the chosen one. Not really, because let's not forget that the scene that we saw was his parents talking to him. So we got to see how the actual episode goes, because his parents are saying, you know, you were chosen. However, it could have just simply been, hey, we're going to be watching over your son, and one day he could become a Green Lantern. Maybe it's not that he was chosen. It's just that they're telling them, help train up your kid, because we're watching over him and he could be a Green Lantern. But if he fails, then he doesn't become a Green Lantern. You know, like, it's, if he was the chosen one, then he's going to be it no matter what. So I think, like you said, people need to just kind of step back a little bit and just relax and let things play out and watch things. Yes, they absolutely released that footage and that little clip to get people talking. That was the whole point about it. because even if you put something that's controversial out, people are going to talk about it, and it's going to keep the series, the project in people's minds and discussions. And hey, good or bad press, it's all good press. I mean, it all is. So we'll see how that turns out. But again, I push back a little bit on you saying that it's not comic accurate, because throughout the years, things change with comic book characters. New writers, new artists, they all adapt these characters in some way to fit their vision, the way that they want to see it done. It's no different with filmmakers.
But with Green Lantern, like, there are set principles and rules for how this works. And, you know, if you were to make a Spider-Man movie and Spider-Man were to sling rope out of his wrists instead of, you know, web, people would be like, what the fuck? This is ridiculous. It's no different here. And I remember when Halo aired, and I forget what they changed about the lore.
Like,
literally everything.
Yeah, but like, you had an issue with that, and rightfully so, because you're a Halo fan and you read the books. And listen, the DCU, the DCU promised that they were going to be faithful to the comics. That was the whole thing. That was the big criticism about the Snyderverse. And here we go. We get Lanterns, which is, for most people, myself included, a lot of people's most anticipated project, because we love this character so much. And it's like, you know, and like I said, listen, I really am going to hold most of my judgment till the end, but, you know, like, it doesn't mean I'm going to keep my mouth shut when I see shit like this. It's just, it's a little ridiculous.
And look, when it came to Halo, they bastardized it. It wasn't even like, hey, let's make a little change. They're like, we got Master Cheeks here. We're taking the helmet off. He's going to screw some random girl who's part of the Covenant now. Like, it was a bastardization of the lore of Halo. So there's no comparing that to this, because this isn't bastardizing the lore of Green Lantern. It's expanding on something that we've seen in the comics before to kind of fit the narrative of the story that they want to tell, which personally I'm okay with as of right now. I could, after this week or the following week, say, wow, this is fucking stupid. They fucking ruined it. But right now, I don't see a problem with it.
You know, as I would say, as of the end of episode 2, I don't. I just have a couple issues with, like, the way things look. And I try not to get too crazy about that. Like, I think that there are a lot of people who are very childish, and if they don't like the suit, they can't enjoy the project. And it's like, Colton's not like that.
No. He just is very childish. So.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry.
Well, I don't know. Both the TikToks you guys send, they're very childish.
Whoa.
Okay?
I could send you one that's hilarious right now. Don't go there.
Listen, I laugh at them. I laugh at them too. Okay, I'm a fucking child. But what was I saying? Is like, a lot of people are, if I don't like the suit, I can't enjoy the movie because I don't have a shiny toy to look at the whole time, so it's not even worth it. I also think a lot of that comes from sexual attraction to men. I think that there's a lot of that in these fandoms, and I think I'm serious, and I think that people want to see, fit physique men in superhero suits that they like, how they look, and that's fine. That's totally fine. I just can't relate to it. So I never saw the suits in that way. And I don't care about them that much. I'm like, yeah, if it's decent and like it doesn't look ridiculous, great. And
I got
so
with sorry.
Well, it's hard to know after the But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna hold most of my judgment to the end. But like, I said to you the other day, it's like, now I'm posting this and I got that kid still fucking reposting my shit. And I'm like, I definitely don't want them thinking I'm one of them, because I'm not.
Oh, right, come on.
Let's get into some of these comments here.
So we'll go all the way back up here to Hunter about the gun contract.
He says, I don't believe Jeff Snyder about James Gunn contract until James Gunn say it, even about the DCU Batman. So here's the thing. James Gunn nor Peter Safran ever said anything about the extension that happened like 7-8 months ago. So if there was another extension, don't expect them to say anything now. So I wouldn't expect that. Am I saying you should believe Jeff Snyder? No, but just, have an understanding that hey, they didn't say anything before. They probably wouldn't say anything now.
And then also Hunter with the
And
John Campia.
John Ciampa saying that James Gunn is directing Batman Brave and the Bold. I actually am starting to believe that more and more myself. Not because John Ciampa said it, but because I believe that Batman is James Gunn's favorite character, comic book character. He's mentioned that many, many times. Granted, a lot of people get pissed off because he stated that he didn't like Tim Burton's Batman. He didn't like the way Nolan did Batman, which is fine. It's all subjective. It's art. That's what art is. Here's the thing. I think he's going to end up doing Batman and possibly after that step away. That is kind of my like, I'm starting to think more like that. Do I have any basis on it? No. I just think that he does. He would be stupid to not do a Batman movie when he has a chance to. Because if he doesn't do it, he may never have the chance to do it again. So now would be a perfect time to,
excuse me. And then shout out to Hungary bringing up Batman. Do you guys really think Brave and Bold will go into production in 2027? If so, does that mean it's a 2028 release? I don't know how they can do that with Batman Part 2 in 2028.
So this also comes from Jeff Snyder. He was saying something along the lines of that they're much further into production than people know when it comes to Brave and the Bold. And I think he said something along the lines that they're planning on going into production by 2027. Let's just say this. Going into production in 2027 could be they go into production in November of 2027 and then it gets put out March 2029. That's what could happen there. Or it could be that they start January 2027 and then it comes out the end of 2028. I know that Matt Reeves' Batman is coming out in March. It's March or is it February? February and March. I can't remember now. But that's the beginning of the year. So let's say they do make Brave and the Bold and they plan to bring it out in 2028. Putting it out in November or December of that year is a far enough time from when Batman Part 2 came out. I think it would be fine. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be like a late, if they get into production in 2027, it'll be a late production. And you want to know why I say that? You want to know why? Because when does Man of Tomorrow come out? July 2027. What's James Gunn going to be busy doing up until July 2027? Working on Man of Tomorrow. What can he do after Man of Tomorrow? Start working and directing the Batman movie. So that's my thought.
Yeah, listen, I think if James Gunn were to direct Batman, first of all, the internet would lose its mind, but that doesn't mean he couldn't do a good job. Yeah. I think that a lot of people thought he wasn't going to do a good job with Superman. He did a good job with Superman. It wasn't anything like Guardians of the Galaxy, which everyone likes to, that's like the anti-James Gunn trope. I have no doubt he could do a great Batman movie. But I don't think that if him directing Batman means Batman coming out any later, I don't think he should do it. And I think that's one of the problems of being the studio head and a director. I think you really need to do one or the other.
Don't get me wrong. I'm in 100% agreement with that. I made a whole video talking about that not too long ago, that he needs to just focus on being the studio head, which is kind of why I have a feeling that he may step away with Brave and the Bold. Like, he'll do Brave and the Bold and then he's done. He's like, okay,
right,
I left my mark. Let somebody else take over.
Yeah. Like, I think you've said before, like, he might realize, maybe that isn't for me. And that's totally fine. Like, not every creative is the studio head. And that's why he also has Peter Safran doing it with him, because he knows it's not really his, it's not what he has experience doing.
Agreed.
What have we got next?
Hunter says that Jerry needs to go out and socialize.
Socialize.
Hungary does not agree with Hal dying. He won't accept it. He refuses to accept it. It'll be really good, but if he's dead, it's really bad. and also, no one cares about Guy Gardner.
Wow.
Gardner sucks.
I disagree. I think Guy Gardner's cool Lantern. I think he can be a really cool. I mean, come on, who doesn't want to see Batman punch him like that? I think the only reason to keep him around right now is to just get Batman to punch him. That's it.
Batman and Hal Jordan used to beef a lot.
Yeah, but who doesn't want to see Batman punch Nathan Fillion? Like, come on.
I'd love to see that. Yeah.
And then he thinks Hungry says, I swear they better be doing Green Lantern Rebirth with Hal. That's what I'm hoping they are doing.
Maybe. I look, there's so many theories and speculations and things like that when it comes to what they're doing with Hal in this DC universe. I'm curious and hoping that they do something that is true to the comics, but also original. Like I want to see something original. That's just me. Like, let's have him dead, and then maybe in like 3 or 4 years, have him come back and he's Parallax or something. You know, like have something wild that happens after a long stint of him not being there. So people are pissed off, but then he's back.
You know, I don't think the Parallax Rebirth, like, you need build up for stuff like that. Those are climactic events. You don't do that without build up. Like, you know, you don't start with Infinity War, all that kind of thing, you know.
No, you're exactly right.
And then last one, Donovan just fucking hates everybody.
Yeah.
Hacks. Right-wing hacks.
Sorry. Hate to inform you, Donovan. We're all AI today.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we're caught up there. So
I
I guess
so creative when I use AI. I feel like an artist.
Oh, yeah, here. Let's did we finish DC? Yeah.
Yeah, anything else for DC worth noteworthy?
No, let's jump to our main topic.
Oh, sorry, guys. I was in purgatory. I got scared. My bad.
All right. So I brought this idea up to the guys last week, but we decided to focus a lot on Doomsday, that trailer that came out, rightfully so. But also there was X-Men casting and a logo, and the hype for X-Men is building. So I thought, look, I love the whole idea of pitching films, pitching movie ideas, pitching concepts and ideas with my buddies, because to me that's kind of, I say this all the time, that's the joy of being a fan in any fandom, whether it's DC, Star Wars, Marvel, whatever it is, sitting around with your friends and saying, oh, what if they did this? What if they did that? With an understanding that, look, we're not the creatives in charge. It's probably not going to turn out that way. But how fucking cool would it be? So I thought, hey, let's pitch our X-Men movie. So obviously we do have the cast that they announced. I don't know if you guys are going to be utilizing the same cast, if you're even going into casting at all. But we do have some characters like Cyclops, Jean Grey, Storm, and Professor Xavier, and, you know, Emma Frost. Like, we have some of the cast and characters that are going to be in it. So that's kind of the direction I went in, is I kind of kept some of those characters in it and added some additional ones. I don't know what you guys did, but I can't wait to hear what you have to say, because I think mine is the best. And here's what I want to do, because I want to get fans, the viewers, the watchers, the listeners involved. I want you to tell us in the comments, after you hear all 3 pitches, which one is best and which one you would love to see actually made. So we're going to start with, I don't know, Jerry. We'll go with Jerry.
Ooh.
Okay.
It's okay. I'll accept 3rd place now. It's fine.
All right. So I didn't go with the cast because the cast didn't include Magneto. Magneto is my favorite X-Men mutant by far. The thing I love about Magneto is that no matter what, like, whenever you hear his reasoning, it's hard to disagree with him, you know? So anyway, I basically wanted to ask, instead of mutants looking about being accepted into society, fuck that. Mutants are going to stop asking for acceptance, and they are going to demand it. And they end up with my favorite Jonathan Hickman X-Men comic is what inspired this. Basically, the mutants stop asking, and they form their own nation, Krakoa. Krakoa grows the drugs and sets the price, and this movie will treat that as the real superpower. And if you don't know anything about this comic line, that drug basically could bring you back to life, immortality. So Magneto argument, it's never actually moral, though. It's actuarial. And so there are going to be different timelines in this movie. There's 3 different timelines. The year 1, the nation opens. Year 10, there's going to be a dinner scene, which like everything is going to rely on. And year 100 down the line is like a machine world where 2 mutants are the last of record. And the audience doesn't really learn right away how the timelines connect until the last like 10 minutes of the movie. And the connection is the whole argument. But the dinner scene, like I said, is going to be the real centerpiece. And it's in Davos. Xavier, Magneto, Apocalypse, they sit down with the world's ambassadors and financial powers to discuss Krakoa's terms. They shoot it in a locked it's in a locked like room, like a gridlocked room. And basically you see cuts to all the different faces and the flags of the countries that they're from, and they all raise a glass. You see them eating food, but the menu on screen as a title card, so you could see, that it's in Davos and everything. And the ambassadors toast a peace while shaking hands with a man who introduces himself as Apocalypse. Magneto does the talking. He walks them through what happens to their economies when a nation that answers to no one holds the only cure. Xavier is warmer and somehow worse. Apocalypse barely speaks and eats slowly. And now it's going to start to get savage. We cut away twice to Cyclops and Gorgon in the service corridors, dealing with the assassins that the guests brought. Silent, efficient, brutal, take them out. Then we go back to the table. Magneto knows what happens. He looks directly at the American ambassador, tells him, your men are dead, returns to his stake. Nobody leaves. Dessert is served. And then we go to year 100, and the threaded plot reveals that the machines were always being built, and they were funded from the same balance sheets from that table, and during the years where mutants were behaving. And that's where you end up really seeing that you agree with them. And then the movie closes out. We never hated you. We simply stopped needing you, and you've mistaken that for aggression.
Interesting.
As a huge fan of that comic, that'd be a badass movie.
Fucking sick comic.
Bob, I have to go next.
All right.
So Jerry's is a sequel to mine.
Wow.
we didn't do this on purpose. It is a sequel to mine. So I didn't really go too in depth with anything. I kind of wrote like a brief rundown, like you would see at like trying to sell a comic to someone. So I'm just going to do that. After the fallout of the events of Doomsday and Secret Wars, the multiverse is restored. Kind of. We have the introduction of newer characters, Miles Morales, Black Bolt, that doesn't suck, Venom, Medusa, Ghost Rider, etc. But with the restoration of the multiverse, kind of, brings a lot of questions of what exactly happened, and a new movement is formed to blame the X-Men. The story of the film would follow God Loves, Man Kills. You have William Stryker just tracking down X-Men to try to kill them and blame X-Men for the incursions, essentially. So, I didn't really cast anything. That's pretty much all I have. And then the fallout of the film would allude to Jerry's movie.
I love God Loves, Man Kills. So
yeah.
We
didn't do it on purpose, I swear, Bob.
I actually went a different route because I kind of went with a more original take with some, remnants of what we've seen in the past or have had in the past. I did use the same cast, not necessarily the cast, but the characters. A lot of the characters, specifically Mr. Sinister, is in it, of course, and obviously you have Professor Xavier and things like that. But mine is a lot more in depth than what you guys did. So, but I'm a writer at heart, so
Nerd.
the pitch, the setup essentially is that mutants have always existed in the MCU. However, the X gene has been dormant in most of humanity. And the reason why I say it like that is because if you watch Miss Marvel, it's basically Miss Marvel, they mention it in her show that she has a mutant gene of some sort. So that's kind of how I wanted to approach this is, look, mutants have been there, but it's been dormant. A tiny number of mutants have been activated throughout history, but nobody really has paid much attention to it because look, there's all these different superheroes running around at this point in time, super soldiers and gods and things like that. So nobody really thought much about it. Then you have Secret Wars that happens. Secret Wars happens, and then the reconstruction of reality is something that causes an enormous amount of cosmic energy. That energy, it's believed that energy has acted as the activation of mutations around the world. However, keep in mind, it wasn't Secret Wars that creates the mutants. It's just simply accelerating something that was already coming, that was already dormant. And mutants are essentially the next stage of evolution. Now, that's very reminiscent of kind of what they did in the 2000s, how, Magneto was always speaking of, we're evolution of man. How I can't remember the line. But anyways, something like that. Then you have the problem, obviously, because it's going to start a conflict within the universe. The MCU has fought aliens, it's fought gods, it's fought sorcerers, robots, multiversal threats. But this is something different. This is your neighbor, your friend, your husband, your wife, your child. Like it's that. This is something completely different than what they've seen before. So people aren't necessarily afraid because mutants are quote unquote evil. They're afraid because anyone could suddenly at this point become one. So the world starts asking, how many mutants are there? Can we identify them? Can they be detected before their powers activate? Should mutant children attend normal schools? Should dangerous mutants be registered? All of those kind of questions would come out of this in some form or fashion. Now, obviously, Charles Xavier is going to be kind of like the main guy in this film. He's been studying genetic mutation for years because he himself is what would be called a mutant. But he realizes something terrifying, that human evolution just accelerated by 1,000 years overnight after Secret Wars. So he already has a handful of these kids that he's kind of taken in. It's not a school. He doesn't have a school yet, but it's kind of like he's brought them in because he's learning and he's studying them and they're outcasts. So he brings them in, that kind of whole thing. So it's more like a safe haven. You then have Nathaniel Essex, who has been a friend of Xavier over the years, a colleague even. He's a brilliant geneticist, and Xavier trusts him. However, what he doesn't realize is that Essex, while they're studying the mutant gene, Essex is actually off on his own collecting these mutants and doing experiments on them. He's collecting DNA, studying mutations, and he's trying to determine what evolution is capable of producing. Now, everybody in this universe believes that what happened with Secret Wars, who at least knows of Secret Wars, believes that that's what caused the mutant explosion. But Sinister discovers they're wrong. The X gene was already reaching an evolutionary tipping point, and it was going to happen anyways at some point. Mutants aren't an accident. They're a cosmic mistake. Or they aren't a cosmic mistake. They're humanity's future. So because they find out about Sinister, what's going on there, they decide, we have to go save these people that Sinister is capturing and doing testing and weird things on. So you have your typical Cyclops, you have your Storm, you have your Rogue, and maybe Jean Grey is one of the ones that he captures and starts doing testing on. Like I don't know yet, but something like that is what their first mission is. It's just going to rescue other mutants. This is the first time that we see these kids, these students, not even students, but these group of mutants actually come together and show we can be heroes, like the Avengers, like the Thunderbolts, the new Avengers, things like that. And the whole world starts to see it, and the whole world starts to not so bad. But at the same time, they see Mr. Sinister, what he's capable of. Even some of the kids that he had taken in are kind of evil. So they start to see both sides of it, and they see the destruction and the danger that they could be. In the end, though, the X-Men or these kids do defeat Sinister. They rescue many of the kidnapped mutant children, but there is a major consequence that all this footage goes viral of what happened. So people are now starting to question even more. Look, yeah, we saw some heroes, but look at the destruction that was created. They're afraid. You know, the mutants are afraid because nobody is really cheering for them. They're still just, what are these people? At the end, Xavier decides to, hey, we have to have a place where these people can go and learn how to thrive in society and be better. And that's where we get his school for gifted youngsters. And that's pretty much the first movie. However, there is a post-credit scene. And no, it's not Wolverine, because I don't think Wolverine should be in it for a while. Instead, it's going to introduce Magneto, or Eric. As he's watching television, news coverage is discussing the emergence of mutants. And, there's somebody on there who's trying to say mutants don't, currently no evidence that mutants represent a threat to humanity. And as he watches, he's like, I've heard governments make promises before. His expression changes, his hand closes, and metal objects begin to move and bend around him. And that's pretty much it.
I like the retcon.
You like the retcon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Again, look, it's going to be hard to, and it's not to say that the mutant gene could not have been around for, a millennia or more, thousands and thousands of years. The thing is that you have to fit it in the MCU right now. And that's kind of how I was looking at it. It's like, how do you make this fit into the MCU today? Because we've never seen the mutants. We've never heard of mutants. We've never heard of anything. So yeah, it's there. It's always been there. We just didn't see the evolution take form yet. And you can have your Erics, you can have your Xaviers, you can have some of these more established big characters from the comics. They already had their powers. They already had their things. You can even have stories pop up and different movies where, maybe there's not comic book, but newspaper clippings of, a guy doing stuff with metal and things like that is in the background that happened over the years. Rewrite history in a way after Secret Wars, because the history has kind of changed then. You can change history slightly because of that. And I think that would just be a cool way to do it. I know the big thing that people want, and the one thing I didn't approach is Eric. And I didn't want to approach that from this because I don't think they need to right now. His story in the comics has always been so stuck on him being Jewish and World War II and the internment camps and things like that, where I think they need to get away from it. I think they need to bring it up to something more modern, something more, that's closer to what his age would be in 2026 or 2030 or whatever it is. You can't say, oh, this guy was in World War II in 2030 because he's 100 years old then. It's like you can't do that. So that's for our movie 2.
Maybe they do the 6-Day War. The 6-Day War could be cool.
Yeah, something different. Yeah, but
I don't like the idea of moving away from the Holocaust. I think it's such a crucial part that you kind of have to figure that out.
I don't think they can. I think comics are going to have to move away from it at some point. I just think you have to. At some point, you have to, and it is a crucial part. That's why I've never been against the idea of race swapping Magneto. Because
I hate that.
You can then put him in the segregation and things like that happened in the 50s and 60s and things like that. And he's older still, but at least you get that a similar type of backstory for him. and how he felt like an outcast. And some people hate it. I don't mind it because while his Jewish heritage has always been a big part of him, and that's something that I always say is like, you can't change the heritage of somebody if it's a big part of their story. This is one that I think you kind of have to change because the Holocaust is almost 100 years ago, and you kind of got to change that, in my opinion. But yeah, I don't know. All of you who are still, there's nobody talking in the chat. Where'd you go? Chat. Where'd you go? Chat.
They were all patiently listening.
Hopefully that's what it is. But yeah, if you're watching or listening later on, let us know in the comments which story you liked better, what movie pitch you liked better. Because yeah, I think all three of them are definitely worthy of some sort of movie. I just think mine's better. I don't know.
Yeah, I skipped the the mutants worrying about acceptance. Like, I think that's first of all, I think that's one of the coolest parts about Magneto. He's like, fuck them. We don't need their acceptance. And I also think like we've had so many movies about the X-Men and their acceptance and, the Krakoa aspects. Like, it just changed that.
The acceptance, like it with mine, the acceptance is there. Like, they're looking for acceptance and they feel like outcasts. But right now, like, the movie is more about understanding what mutants are. Like, that was my whole idea, was like, okay, you have Xavier who's like, hey, I'm trying to learn what this is all about for the better. And then you have Mr. Sinister who's like, I have nefarious reasons for this. Like, I want to learn more about this evolution. I want to learn how I can utilize this evolution for myself and becoming stronger and better and that kind of thing. So that's how I looked at it more than the outcast. Like, that's the underlying thing. But you kind of build more into that because that is a big part of Magneto and Eric's journey. And since he's not in my first movie, I think that's something that you can get to later on. But, that's me. Guys, come on. Stop poking holes.
Right. I still say mine's the best.
We're all biased.
I'm going to get 2 votes.
With the 3 timelines, come on.
I mean, technically speaking, mine is could be a prequel to yours, Jerry.
It could be. A lot of so could Slavs, because mine is past looking for acceptance, But I just think like the thing with the X-Men is there's been more X-Men movies than probably in live action than any other character or franchise, maybe other than Spider-Man. So, like, I think they really do need to change things up.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we go back to this stuff.
Oh, there you go. So we're now in regular pulp culture that is undefined. Dan Stevens, which I really only know him from Legion, is RoboCop and RoboCop.
I first off, I got to give you credit, Colton, for knowing that he's from that show Legion.
Hey, I liked Legion.
That show was bonkers, off the wall. That was one of my favorite Aubrey Plaza roles that she's ever done. I think was playing. What the heck was it? Her name in that? But yeah, that was a fantastic show. But this, I think, look. RoboCop has never been one of those IPs that's like, hey, this is going to guarantee money, or people love RoboCop. Like, it's never been that. Like, the first movie did decent because, holy shit, he just blew somebody's dick off. Like, that, like, that's all the first movie was. And then you had that remake that happened with Michael Keaton and what's his face from Joel Kinnaman. And he was in it, and it flopped harder than like any movie around that time. Like, it was terrible. It did not do well at all. So the fact that they're like, hey, let's give it a shot again. I'm just like, really? Now, first off, Dan Stevens, like, he's a good actor. He's been in quite a few projects. He's a character actor. Like, so he just does a whole bunch of random stuff. But I just don't see it. I don't see it. I don't know what you guys think.
I don't think we could really need another RoboCop, but I'll watch it. Why not?
Stick off. Why not?
Yeah. If it's a 2.5 hour compilation of dicks being blown off, I'm about it.
Yeah, so I don't know. You got anything to say, Jerry, or you're not a RoboCop guy?
No, I like RoboCop. I think it's cool that they're going to bring it back. I just hope that they don't hold back on anything. Like if they're going to do it, do it. I don't know this actor, so I don't have anything against him for it. I actually saw this and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. All right, what do we got next?
So also another thing that no one ever needs is another National Treasure.
Oh, take that back, you mother. Look, National Treasure is a national treasure of America. All right, like Nicolas Cage at his best in those movies. Come on, you take that back. I love National Treasure. Like, I absolutely love the first National Treasure movie. It's such a fun modern day treasure hunt type of movie. It's great. The second one, not as good as the first one, but it's not terrible. They were like, we're going to steal the Declaration of Independence in the first one. They're like, we're going to kidnap the president in the second one. Like,
where do you go up from there? There's no one else to steal. Go to Russia and steal Putin.
43 in the president's book. Like that, what was that? What's the conspiracy around that? Ooh, is it aliens? Are they going to go the route of Indiana Jones and go aliens? Who knows? I don't care. I'm for this. The TV show that came out like a year or two ago was complete ass. I watched the first 2 episodes and I was out. This needs to happen. They better bring back Nicolas Cage, the other guy that's a nerd, and Diane Kruger. Bring them back. I don't care who else you have. It needs to happen. All right, look. This is one of my guilty pleasures of films. I will watch these movies until the day I die.
I'm sorry, you have bad taste.
Dick.
Yeah, I never liked these.
Yeah, I never
tried. Like the concept is cool, but the execution sucks. I never liked any of them.
You were a little late to your own soundbite there, Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care for any of them. I really don't.
You guys don't know quality. Come on. First off, the first National Treasure movie is a movie where Sean Bean doesn't actually die.
I'm getting you back. Great. Now I changed my ringtone and I got to fucking do it.
Move on.
So the next thing is something I found. And again, something cool not coming to America is Saudi Arabia and France are doing a Dragon Ball Land.
Yeah, that's not fair. We have stupid Super Mario Land, but not Dragon. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I never got into Dragon Ball Z. I wish I did when I was younger, but like I feel like it's something that if you didn't enjoy as a kid, you can't get into it as an adult. Am I wrong?
Do you like?
I think you could. Oh my god.
Do you like anime? Do you like manga? Do you like stuff like that?
Never got into any of it other than Pokemon. Like I like the video games when I was a kid.
Dragon Ball, out of all the animes, Dragon Ball's probably the most accessible for people.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're not an anime guy, if you're not or I can't think of anything else right now. Patlab or there's a whole bunch. Like I'm thinking old school because that's when I watch it.
Inuyasha, Yu Hakusho.
Princess Mononoke, which is such a great movie. Gundam. Yeah, there's another one. Ronin Warriors, which I think is a fake. That was Americanized, wasn't it? Wasn't that American?
I think so.
Regardless.
Evangelion.
So yeah, Dragon Ball is probably the easiest. Granted, there's 5,000 episodes, not as many as Naruto, but there's still a lot of episodes.
If you get into it, you don't have to watch Dragon Ball. You can skip right to Z, and if you don't want filler, just watch Kai.
So, and that's the thing, just understanding what to watch, and it's really simple. It's just like, hey, watch this, and just watch through it, and you'll be happy. But it's the most accessible. I don't know if you get into it if you've never really cared for manga or anime. You care about it anyways.
Let me ask you, what it's over $9,000. What's that in reference to?
Yeah, see, Bob, I got some good zingers here on the banners. So the meme, it's over 9,000.
No.
Oh my god!
The show, where it's like in the first season of the show that each character has what is known as a power level. Okay, so they have power levels. In the first season, their power levels were pretty low. They were in like hundreds, maybe 1,000, 2,000 power level. What the power levels actually mean? Nothing. It's just a little.
Oh yeah, no. The power scaling gets crazy after the first season.
So that character there, he has this little thing on his face. It's a scouter. It's a thing that can actually detect what power level something has.
Is that Goku?
That is Vegeta.
Why do they all look exactly the same?
See, the one on the left here, that's Goku. That one's Vegeta.
So he's using his scouter, looks at Goku, and he gets the reading, and he goes, "It's over 9,000." And that's just what the meme is. Now, the funny thing is, it's not actually in the actual anime, the Japanese version. He doesn't actually say that. He says something else. I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, it's over 8,000.
Over 8,000. Yeah.
Yeah, the 9,000 was a translation error.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's all the meme actually is. It's nothing more than that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But $7 billion is crazy.
Yeah.
That better be good. Are we gonna do a BTG trip?
Yeah, let's
to Saudi Arabia. I always wanted to wear a turban anyway. That'd be cool.
I'm gonna wear a burqa.
Oh my god, please. We can ride camels to it. Come on, guys, let's do it. We could take like $500 and be billionaires over there.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So what was that, Bob?
You can get a Ferrari for like nothing over there.
Oh, can we?
I don't know.
Please, guys, let's do it.
Everybody has a Ferrari over there, so
I mean, I'm a little more partial to the Lambos, but we can get a Ferrari. I think that'll be fine.
All right.
So on to gaming is the Xbox is kind of unfucking what they did with the digital stuff. So basically, they're just acknowledging that physical discs now are what they've been since 2014 when the Xbox One came out, where you just get the digital licensing from the disc and you can still play the game. It's been like that for over a decade now.
Here's the thing about this whole idea. It's not a terrible plan. And I think the reason that they're doing this is for specifically the next generation. Because I really think that they're going to try and find a way to minimize the cost of making these machines. I'm not saying that disc players cost a lot, but that could be $50, $60 to $100, maybe more, that they don't need to add to the console. So I think what they're doing is saying, hey, if you own this game and you have an Xbox One or Xbox Series X, just throw it on your account, download it, just activate the digital version through your account with your Xbox Series X, and now you can play it with any console that you get after that. And I think that's the whole reason that they're doing it. Not so much to say, hey, you can do this, do that. You still have to keep the disc, because if you go trade in the disc, the next person who puts it in is going to remove that license that you have, and it's going to go to them. So that's all it is, really, I think.
Yeah, I think it's just we are panicking about it now. Oh, sorry, Jerry.
It's brilliant. Sorry. Yeah, I think it's brilliant. Your 4K DVDs do this. I've always wanted comic books to do this, and don't see why they don't. And it's such an easy thing to do. It really doesn't cost them anything. They're already selling the fucking game, and it's just an easy victory over PlayStation. And I say this as someone who doesn't really care. And the reason I don't care is because I like downloading the games. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to wait for it to come in the mail. Game comes out. It's already preloaded on my console. If I pre-ordered it, it's convenient, And I think that a lot of people overlook the luxury of convenience that all of digital purchases and streaming have brought us.
I agree. Now we're just getting into the sorry, we lost the licensing, or sorry, the studio shut down.
Yeah.
And they need to, like we've said before, they need to innovate on consumer protection laws.
Yeah, absolutely. Jerry's gonna freak out.
Yeah, it's fucking annoying.
We don't need Donovan here. We just got to annoy Jerry with sound bites.
Oh God, fucking Donovan.
But yeah, I think it's kind of cool they're doing that, even though that's what physical discs have been doing for years now at this point. But Gamescom's going on right now. Not that it's over in a couple days. I think it's going till Sunday or Monday. But we've already got some canceled stuff. I think the most notable one is Turok Origins has been delayed till 2027.
Turok. Remember that from the original? Anybody?
Yeah. But I mean, other ones like There Are No Ghosts in the Grand. I don't know. I've never heard of it. It's an indie game. Mariachi Legends. We're just gonna see a bunch of bands play against each other in a Guitar Hero-esque thing. And a truck game. So sucks to suck, I guess.
Yeah, so those are games that canceled. Do you have any of the announced games?
No, it's still like actively happening right now.
Dude, I should have put it in here. I didn't. I don't think I did. But Stage Tour. Come on.
Oh yeah, the Guitar Hero clone.
Yeah, it's made by the team that made Guitar Hero. Because they sold it to Activision like after after the first or second one. They were like, okay, here you have it. But now they're back. They're making Stage Tour, and dude, I'm all for it. I hope this is huge. I hope it works out, because I'm going to buy the big ass bundle that has the drums and the guitar and the microphone, because I'm gonna have a blast in my living room just playing fake drums and fake guitar because it's so much fun.
Yeah, and what you don't know is we're all flying in and we're streaming it live.
Yeah, why the hell not? Let's do it. Jerry's the vocalist.
What yeah, I'm a great singer, let me tell you. What did you guys think of two things?
Oh, that was good. That one was good. My hands are clean. My hands are clean. Yeah. I didn't do it.
Why are you so afraid of Jerry? What's he gonna do?
Yeah, my hands are clean too. What? See, I don't even get to hear what it sounds like, so I didn't know it was good until Colton said it, and now I know. So thank you. What did you guys think of two things? Number one, the GTA 6 and the unveil, and the Iron. Did you see the Iron Man trailer leak?
I didn't see the Iron Man one. No.
Yeah. Everyone said it looked amazing. I thought it looked horrible.
So let's talk about GTA real quick. The 27-minute special extended look that Netflix released on Thursday.
Oh, it looked pretty. It looked so good. I enjoyed it.
It looks good. It looks good. I feel and look, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna play the shit out of it. Like I'm not.
Amen, brother.
But there has to come a point where it's like, all right, this is just getting too realistic, right?
No, I agree. Well, see, everybody's going to be all gung-ho about it till like you're on CCTV or you have to get it. Well, no, there's real leaked things. Like there's CCTV. Cops know what you're wearing. Cops know what vehicle you're in. That's all part of the wanted system.
It takes away from the fun. Now, like there was a couple things I saw from the little extended look. Again, it's not the whole game. I know we have to see more of it, but as there's that scene where they're getting chased by the police, and the main character's out the window shooting at the police vehicles. It seemed really simple to just shoot the tire out and then it would wreck. Shoot the tire out and it would wreck. Very repetitive looking. So that kind of worries me. So I don't know. Like I do like how they like hid it in an alleyway and then a cop ended up seeing them. That was cool. So there's a lot of things that I like. There's some things I'm worried about. But yeah, again, the realism, like you can get too real and it would take away from the fun. And that's what I'm worried about. Because some of the best moments of playing GTA throughout the history of GTA was running away from the cops and getting away, relatively, not with ease all the time, but you could get away. I don't want it to be so difficult where I'm losing my damn mind because I just want to get rid of these damn stars and I can't.
Yeah, you go through a traffic light and a flock camera catches you or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't want that. But we'll see. Like I said, I'm gonna play it.
I can't imagine it's not going to be fun to run from the cops, even with the new wanted system. But it does sound aggressive. I agree.
Yeah, but I'm disappointed. Where's going to be like the flying bikes? The oppressors, the unrealistic military tanks that you're going to get in game.
You know what I'm more pissed about is that the cover of the game doesn't have a sexy girl on it. Like, no, I'm serious. They've always had like a sexy girl that was like looks like she belonged in that like time. You know, the Vice City girl, the San Andreas girl leaning over, the Liberty City girl with the lollipop. I like those girls. I want.
I mean,
you forgot about Lindsay Lohan.
They got like
yes.
Rican or some kind of Hispanic, but right next to the V, there's a
Want to be Lucia.
That's not Lucia.
That doesn't count.
Lucia's at the top.
Where?
Yeah,
Where?
She's not like bent over in a bikini sucking a lollipop.
No, I mean she's got her sunglasses up, like hey, and you can almost see some bitty. I don't know.
Also, if anybody cares, Spyro is coming to Game Pass. Would highly recommend playing it.
What game?
Spyro Reignited Trilogy. It's the first 3 games. Oh, come on. They were fun.
You're talking about
when I was 10.
Iron Man game leak.
Sorry.
That looks like it could be fun. I still am pissed off because I've always thought like Sony has Spider-Man. Xbox needed to go and say, look, give us Iron Man, give us this, give us that. So they had their own exclusive Marvel character that could be in the same universe as Spider-Man, but the only way to really play, like each one, you have to get the other console. So for me, I just kind of wish it was an exclusive, but it didn't look great, but it also wasn't completed. Like it wasn't like a completed rendering of what the game is possible.
But my issue with it was that the combat looked not different from the way Iron Man's but just the combat was in the Avengers game, and that shit sucked.
I never actually got a chance to play that game.
Oh, it was
thankful.
Bad.
Be thankful.
Yeah,
I've heard that. So but
if you don't have the combat that's good in the Iron Man game, like it's not even worth it. That's the whole fucking thing.
The problem is with games where your character is in like an open world and flying. Like I always go back to thinking about all the different Superman games we've had over the years. There's never been a good Superman game because essentially you're just flying around and then you land and then you beat some people up and then you fly around again and do the same thing. It's not like you're doing cool stunts like with Spider-Man and doing cool things with the web swinging. You literally just fly. Like it's not fun, and that could be an issue with something like Iron Man. You just make a Daredevil game. Like let's do something like that.
Well, that's my problem with like if they were to follow through with the Iron Man, the end game, because you're always going to be power leveling up, you're powering up or whatever. You get suit upgrades. Eventually, you become God, and even street criminals aren't shit. You're just going in one tapping and leaving. Yeah. And then even there's no post game because let's say Thanos or whoever arrived on Earth, and then you do have actual guys that are challenging. Well, you finish the game, they're gone, they disappeared, and now you got nothing.
And you got no replayability.
Yeah. But I haven't watched all of this for GTA 6. I will probably tomorrow. I think Nicole works tomorrow. Maybe. I don't know. But from what I saw, I saw what you saw, Bob, the chase scene, and I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and then I know, Jerry, you're excited about Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah. Oh, I love it, man. Metal Gear Solid 4 is one of the best ones. It's just in the future, the way the guns work, and I know people hate on the piss filter. The piss filter's fucking dope, okay? But I'm so fucking hyped. I'm gonna be playing it all day tomorrow.
Actually, do you want to? I could pull up the achievements, which are trophies on PlayStation for you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they're literally. It was all here on the front page. Give me a second. I would know it when I see the thumbnail. Oh, got it. Yep, here we go. That's Peace Walker. First one, enjoy all your killing, and that's why. Kill enemies and kill many enemies in one area and vomit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they have a PlayStation equivalent for that website, but I know people don't go into trophy hunting and achievement hunting.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, let's get to the comics. So Batman Bad Seeds, which is their big Batman crossover event, kicked off this week on Wednesday. Basically, Poison Ivy is the new mayor, and she was abandoned by her political and arcane allies, and makes a last-ditch play to, power play, and basically makes Gotham into, it's like a whole eco-terror city. It was really dope, and the way it worked was really sick. Hold on, I meant to send a screenshot in. Let me find it, but I'll just read what Batman said in it. Give me a second.
I do like the cover art for it. Batman as a scarecrow is pretty dope.
Oh yeah, it is. It's sick. So basically, this is what Batman was saying when he was on his comms talking to the Bat family. The situation evolves moment to moment, but here's what we know as a 6:54 p.m. We faced a localized, hyper-accelerated terraforming event. The soil, the water, the air all around us, and are being weaponized to poison the entire biome. It's attaching to infrastructure targets with tactical intention. Make no mistake, this is an invasion. So they're dealing with it. And what's really cool about it is Vandal Savage, who's the police commissioner, it's really like him and the police versus Poison Ivy. And Batman and the Bat family are just trying to deal with the breakout. And you just know that that's going to build up. And there's issues that are part of the crossover that are going to be releasing every week for, I think, the next 2 months. So it's going to be intense. I'm really excited about it. I really like the first issue. But yeah, basically, and Vandal Savage declares war on the Bat family and put a paramilitary police force on the streets. He's trying to, take his chance of killing two birds with one stone. The whole event covers it's all supposed to be one long night in Gotham. Power goes out at sundown, and the heroes are being hunted and hiding. Whenever it's like one long night in Gotham, and it's a story like that, it's going to be sick. But the first issue was really more of a build-up and like a status report than the story, but it was still really enjoyable. And there were like quick scenes checking in where each character is and how they're reacting to what's going on. And then the last third act of the issue, was explaining Poison Ivy's plan through dialogue with Batman. Yeah, so it's running through September and October, and there will be Batman issues, Poison Ivy issues, Detective Comics Batman, Batgirl, Batwoman, Catwoman, Nightwing, and Harley Quinn. And there even a one shot of Streets of Gotham and Gotham General.
Sounds dope.
Yeah, no, it was really sick.
And then I'm hoping I pulled up the right Spider-Man for you, but
even if it's not, it's fine. That is the right one. So I wanted to talk about this issue because it's really popular on the internet to hate on Amazing Spider-Man. Like I think I said when Brand New Day first released, a lot of people were giving Tom Holland a lot of credit for listening to Spider-Man fans online. I was even convinced that I was one of the fans that he listened to. But ironically, I also have said to Tom Holland online, which, not like I have his fucking cell phone number, but I'm like, you shouldn't listen to Spider-Man fans because Spider-Man fans hate Spider-Man. Spider-Man fans fucking suck, okay? But this issue, like this run, Spider-Man fans have hated on Spider-Man ever since One More Day, which came out 20 years ago, because it was the story that No Way Home was inspired from, and Spider-Man traded in his marriage with MJ to save Aunt May. And he hasn't really been with MJ since, except for one run in like 2018-ish. But a lot of fans are not over it. They're like, Spider-Man's not Spider-Man without MJ. Just ridiculous. But this issue was great because it really honed in on Spider-Man's relationship with Aunt May. Spider-Man was in outer space for a good portion of this run in the beginning. And, he basically let a lot of things fall out with his relationship with Aunt May because he wasn't around. And she has been upset about it for a really long time. And it was very emotional. It was just a very emotional issue. And it was just great. Like, I don't know how anyone could read this issue as a Spider-Man fan and tell me it's not a great issue and this hasn't been a great Spider-Man run. So I think a lot of the hate online for Spider-Man comes from a lot of people online that are, to use a corny internet term, LARPers. Like, Spider-Man comics have been fire and everyone just hates on them and it feels like no one's actually reading. So that's what I want to talk
Well,
about.
Donovan would like to disagree with you.
Oh, well, Donovan don't know fucking anything.
Oof.
Did he actually disagree?
No.
Oh.
Coming up, and I think it's kind of funny. I was just kind of going through on YouTube here for a second, and almost 5 years ago, I did a show that was pitching the MCU mutants in 2021. So it was almost 5 years ago. We did the same. I did the same kind of show, which I think is kind of, man. I need to get
fun. You need a what?
I need to get new material.
We can always reboot Movie Boot. Oh. We can always reboot a podcast. Let's do a movie boot about Movie Boot.
Yeah. Anybody got anything else? I thought this was going to go a lot longer today.
Yeah, I did too. Hunter, I would recommend going back a couple minutes, probably about 30 minutes, 20 minutes.
Yeah. Probably not.
Next week I'll have more on Gamescom because it should be over by then.
Let's see. Do I have anything in here? Nothing. Oh, Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot says she has not spoken with James Gunn or DC Studios about returning. She says it's such an incredible character that so many of us care about so much. So whoever it's going to be to portray her, I wish for her that she enjoys this amazing ride with this amazing character. And I'm just grateful that I was granted the opportunity to wear the boots and celebrate this incredible character and everything she stands for. Hey, guess what? Snyderverse is dead.
Oof. No, it's not. He's coming back with all his AI. He's going to make Doc Ock a DC villain.
Oh, man, that's going to be sick.
Oh, my God. I cannot wait.
And it's Snyderverse. Yeah.
And he's written it and filmed it in less than 2 weeks. It's going to be crazy. It's coming out to rival Doomsday.
I bet you it's going to be better than Man of Tomorrow. We're going to have AI Snyderverse. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Geez.
Okay.
All right. Hold on. I'll pull it up.
I don't understand. Like, I don't know what that was about. Thanks.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, we were talking about
breaking news. There's a picture of Lucia and a dog on Google. Hunter, it seems like you need to get out and socialize, because if you socialized, you would know no one would care about that.
Oof.
There you go. You got her in a kind of in a bikini there.
Where's the dog? I want to see the dog.
I haven't found the dog yet. She's lifting weights there. Look, we're probably on the equivalent of page 3, and I still don't see a dog.
No dog.
There you go.
Who let the dogs out?
Yeah, I'm not seeing a dog, man.
Jerry's gonna I'm done. I'm not doing this with you guys.
There's the actress that's her. That's kind of scary. She's buff. Yeah, I'm not seeing a dog at like all. Maybe hold on. Dog. Oh, there you go. There's the infamous dog pic. Oh, okay, you got that one.
Oh no!
Whoa.
That's GTA 5. Now she's shooting the dog. She's walking a dog. There's some gameplay footage.
They would fucking rather see it into GTA 5, bro. Fans are crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we're ending on oh wait, there's her holding a dog, but I'm pretty sure that's AI. GTA 6 fans are already thirsting over Lucia's feet. That's crazy. But yeah, we don't need to look at that anymore.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
That's for me later. But anybody else have anything?
I got nothing. I went through all my stuff.
Yeah, I hit all my stuff, and then we stumbled into a dog robbing someone. So crazy where the night leads.
Yeah. So yeah, you can find us all on the social medias. Jerry, where can people find you?
At Comics Cuts on all platforms, mainly on X.
And Colton?
White Ruby 53, mainly on Xbox.
And me, you can find on the twits at Slabs Free Talk or Bridge Geekdoms. Either one. I prefer Slabs Free Talk. I'm on there more. But you can find me there. You can also find my show, Slabs Free Talk, on the YouTubes. I do a weekly show called The Watchtower where I talk all things DC. And then weekly, I do a watch along of movies where it's just a bunch of buddies just getting together, bullshitting while watching movies and discussing the film. Colton was on it last week as we watched 2017's Justice League. Or actually, it was earlier this week. And yeah, that was an adventure. Like, I saw things that I did. Like,
yeah,
there's a moment in the movie when they're in the Batcave that I never recognized before, but it was clearly a reshot scene because that wasn't in the Snyder cut. But Ben Affleck's torso was digitally altered to be skinnier. And you can actually, like, when you see it and look at it, it looks bad. Like, there's some things that they did with that movie that's just horrendous. And do you bleed? Like,
yeah.
It's like, why are you talking with your teeth?
Yeah, his teeth, and then his lips would like occasionally. They weren't even really synced up.
It was so bad. But, you can
the mustache removal looks so weird.
Yeah, it's so bad. So you can go watch that. It's on Slabs Free Talk channel. And then this coming week, I haven't decided what movie I'm going to do yet, but I don't know, Jerry. Are you free Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m.?
I could do. Let me. What do I have this Tuesday? I think I could do Tuesday.
If you're able to, then I'll let you pick the movie.
Okay.
Off, live, and you can pick.
Sweet.
You can be my guest this week. Sorry, Colton.
No Flash. Flash is reserved for me. Damn it.
Reserved for him because he hasn't seen it yet. So
yeah, that's fine. Just give me like a runtime cutoff so I know what you know.
A runtime? Oh, I mean, definitely not 4 hours. Like I
right.
Like 2 hours is good. I mean,
okay.
Like if we're ever going to do, if I'm ever going to do, or one of you guys are with me, we're going to do like a long, like 3-4 hour movie. That might be something that we have to plan a special day for,
Yeah. Yeah.
So all three of us are going to watch Lord of the Rings together, right? 1, 2, and 3.
It took me 20 years to get through all three of those movies. So
we could do it in 13 hours, 14 hours. It'll be fine.
I do need to rewatch those movies, but like, I don't know. I'm not a big swords guy. Like, I just like watching guns much more than swords.
So you don't like big swords? Are you
no, I
yourself,
don't.
Barry?
I don't. Like I said, I also can't relate to needing to see a guy in an athletic physique in a skin tight costume, and it's all right.
Yeah. Okay. I guess no furry feet for Jerry then. All right. Well, I guess that's it. I guess that's where we end it, guys. We'll be back next week. Thursday is the plan, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. So yeah, make sure you don't miss out. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, follow us, and all the fun things. So guys, do the thing. Do it.
Also, don't forget to vote on our X-Men movies.
Yeah, you got to vote on that.
Make sure you vote mine.
Vote. Do the thing.